Hello, everyone, and welcome to the December Consulting webinar presented by CDI. Today's topic is saved searches your users need now. Create, save, and share quick searches in Laserfiche. My name is Michael Mathis, and I am the Client Services Director at CDI, and I will be your host for today's webinar. If you have questions at any time during the webinar, please ask your questions in the questions box area. We will have staff monitoring the questions throughout the presentation today, and we will have additional time at the end of the webinar for any questions that do come up. If you need to grab my attention at any time during the webinar, you can raise your hand at any time. And some tips for success for today's webinar. Take notes and screenshots as we are going through the webinar. I find it helpful to put timestamps or how far into the webinar we are, along with the notes to easily go back. Don't be afraid to ask questions. As mentioned, we'll have staff monitoring the questions box, and we will have plenty of time for questions at the end. Please complete the survey after the webinar. We love hearing your feedback and your ideas for future webinars. And as a reminder, this webinar will be recorded and available on the CDI YouTube page within a few days of the webinar. Today's webinar, Saved Searches Your Users Need Now, Create, Save, and Share Quick Searches in Laserfiche, is intended for Laserfiche end users and Laserfiche administrators. The content of today's webinar is applicable to Laserfiche self-hosted and Laserfiche Cloud using both the desktop and Windows client. During our webinar today, we will review where the quick search is located and how to use it, how to customize and share quick searches in Laserfiche, and how to create a custom quick search using the Laserfiche advanced search syntax. The location of the quick search box is going to vary slightly whether you are using Laserfiche desktop client or the Laserfiche web client. In the Laserfiche desktop client, the quick search box is going to be located in the top right corner of the Laserfiche client. And in the Laserfiche web client, this is going to be located at the top center of your browser page. There are different quick search options available in both the desktop and web client. We can search based on the document text, entry names, field values, annotation text, and within the current Laserfiche folder, or within the entire repository. In the Laserfiche web client, there are additional options available. We can search within a selected folder in the repository. This is only going to allow you to search within one folder. If you would like to search within multiple folders, you can use the full search UI within Laserfiche to search within multiple folders. There's an option for the modification or creation date, so we can search for entries modified or created within the last 7 days, 30 days, anytime, or a custom date range. Additionally, we can search based on template and field values assigned to our entries, as well as use custom saved quick searches. When we are performing quick searches within Laserfiche, our selected search options are going to be OR searches. For example, if I select both text and names, in our search options, it will search for entries matching either that entry name or the text of that entry. If we specify additional options from within the Laserfiche web client, for example, a folder or a template, those are going to be searched as an AND search. So it'll perform your text or entry name search, and those entries will need to match your field value specified, as well as be within the selected folder. When performing a search, the search text is going to change your search results whether or not you have double quotes in your search string. Without the double quotes, Laserfiche will search for documents matching any of those words. If we use double quotes, Laserfiche will run a phrase search, so it'll search for documents with that phrase. Our third example is having Laserfiche outside of the quotes and quick search within the quotes. This will search for documents with the word Laserfiche or the phrase quick search. Additional information for performing searches and utilizing double quotes can be found within the Laserfiche help documentation. Searches are also going to be case insensitive by default. There are options available to repository administrators to change the default sensitivity of search results, and this can also be changed on a per user basis within the Laserfiche settings. Customizing quick searches can be done quickly and easily within both the desktop and web client. In our Windows client, you would select the drop-down arrow next to the quick search button and select Customize Quick Searches. Within the Laserfiche web client, you will click on Search Filters next to the quick search box, select Add Filter next to the Saved Searches dropdown on the left-hand side. And at the bottom of the window, there will be a Manage Quick Searches link that you can press to open the Quick Search editor. Once we are inside of our Customize Quick Searches dialog, the dialog will look different depending on whether you're using the Windows client or the desktop client. First, we'll specify a name for our quick search. This will be displayed in the drop-down list for quick search options to help users easily identify the search option that they will be using. Next, we will specify a search query, and this is going to use the Laserfiche Advanced Search syntax to build your custom search query. A special token for your search term is provided as the search term token as indicated in the dialog. When performing your quick search, the search term token will be replaced with the text that is in the quick search dialog, including any double quotes that you may be using for searching on phrases or other search options from the Laserfiche help documentation. For the web client only, we are easily able to share our quick searches with other users by selecting the Apply to the Following group and selecting one or more Laserfiche groups to share the search with. In the Windows client, it is a little more involved to share quick searches. After creating your quick search in the Laserfiche desktop client, the Laserfiche administration console will be used to view that Laserfiche user attribute, and you can then copy that to other users. This is going to require the Manage Trustees privilege and access to the Laserfiche administration console, so your end users will not be able to customize these on their own. In the web client, again, change the Apply To option to apply to the following group, and you can then select one or more groups to share the search with. The custom quick searches can be built using the Laserfiche Advanced Search syntax. The documentation is available in the Laserfiche help documentation from the Laserfiche client, and there's also a link in the slide. When building a search syntax, you can either go through the advanced search syntax documentation and build the search syntax out by hand, or if you've been working with Laserfiche for over 16 years and you love search syntaxes like I do, you have these memorized. The easy way of building an advanced search syntax is to use the Laserfiche client. By using the Laserfiche client to build your search syntax, you can easily run a test of your search to ensure that you are retrieving the correct search results, and you can then copy and paste that search syntax from the Laserfiche client search pane into the custom search editor. So in the Laserfiche client, when we are in our search pane, we have the search syntax filter that we can add into our Laserfiche search criteria. We will leave the search syntax box empty and add in the additional searches that we would like to perform using any other available filters. After we design our search, we can click the search button to run our search. And at that point, the search syntax will be pre-populated for us by the Laserfiche client with exactly what we have configured in our search UI. From there, we can easily select that entire search syntax and copy that search string. Once we have our search string copied, we can then paste that into our custom quick search editor dialog and replace any text that we need to with the search term token where appropriate. And again, the search term token represents the search term that was being entered into the quick search box. After we have our search syntax entered, we can click OK and save our quick search. At this point, we will move into the live demonstration of our webinar. Here I have my Laserfiche web client open. If we go to the top center of our page and click into our search box, this will bring up our quick search dialog where we can then choose which options we are going to search for. We can check or uncheck as many options as we would like. We can choose a template and or add specific fields. And we can also include our custom quick searches that we will be creating shortly. In the Laserfiche desktop client, we can get to these same features through the search box in the top right corner. If we click our dropdown, we have our options to enable or disable various search options, as well as customize our quick searches. After we add in custom quick searches, those will also be available in this menu. In the Laserfiche web client, to create a custom quick search, we can go to Search Filters, Add Filter, and Manage Custom Quick Searches. This will then allow us to add a new search where we can provide a name, our search query, and who we would like to share our search with. To build a search query, we can specify our search options within our search field here. So we can search for only account opening documents. We will add a filter for keywords. And we are also going to include the search syntax. We'll select OK. So we have our account opening template. We have our keyword search. And we will put in find me for our search text to make this easy to find. Once we click our search button, our search syntax we'll run our search again, and then we add in, we click on View Search Syntax, and that will display our search syntax for us. From here, we can easily copy our search syntax, or we can create a custom quick search directly from that dialog, and that will copy our search string for us. Here we will put in our search name of basic by templates. And I am going to highlight find me and replace this with search term. At this point, I can apply the custom search to only myself or to the following groups. By default, the everyone group will be included, and we can remove that group if we would like. And I'm going to include my everyone manual group instead. After clicking save, we get our prompt, our search saved successfully. We can close our search syntax. If we go back to folders and use our custom quick search, we can then search by our basic search by our template. We can remove our search template here and perform our search. In the Laserfiche desktop client, we can do this the same way by clicking on our advanced search icon. And building our search within our search UI. So we can search again by a field or template. And we will include our common search or our basic search options. I'm going to uncheck search by fields and include search by templates for account opening. And we will run our search. Here, if we go back to our customized search and select search syntax, this will display our partial search syntax because I forgot to put in a search term. If we run our search again, we can now see that we have our search syntax displayed, and we can then copy our search syntax, go into our quick search options, customize our quick search. I'm going to create a new search, provide it with a name, and paste in my search string. After we have the search string entered, we can then replace our static text with our search term token and select OK. At this point, we then have our custom quick search, basic by account opening template available. We can uncheck our other options. And here I will enter in quick for my search term. And that is going to bring up my search result. We can then customize our quick searches again to edit, or if we had multiple quick searches, we'll create a new couple here. We can reorder these using the move up and move down button, or we can remove our search entirely and it will no longer be available. In the Laserfiche web client, we can do the same thing under Manage Custom Searches. So here we can add in a new search 1, add new search 2, and we can reorder these using the grabby bar icon on the left-hand side. If we wanted to edit our saved search, so for example, we can rename this to be by our account opening template to make this a more descriptive name for our end users, and save our changes. After making our changes, we can go back to folders to display our search. And under custom quick search, we can then see that our search has been updated. We can perform a new search for quick. And here we had just one search result, so that opens our document by default. If we look at our search results, we can see here that we do have just the one document. That concludes the live demo for today's webinar. And we will be taking questions at this point. If you do have questions after our webinar ends today, there are additional resources you can reach out to. We have Laserfiche Answers, the Laserfiche Solutions Exchange, the Laserfiche Support site, as well as the CDI YouTube page. You can also reach out to CDI at consulting@citiesdigital.com, sales@citiesdigital.com, or support@citiesdigital.com, and we will be happy to answer your questions. At this point, if you do have any questions, please feel free to enter those into the questions box at this time. I do see that we have some questions, so I will go through and answer those. For sharing quick searches using the Laserfiche web client, are you able to share the search with an individual user rather than an entire group? Unfortunately, at this time, the Laserfiche web client only allows for sharing with a group. If there are any other questions, you can feel free to enter those into the questions box, or you could always raise your hand as well, and we can take your questions that way. We do have one more question that came in. What is the difference between saved searches and custom searches? That is a great question. A saved search is going to be allowing you to save a more advanced Laserfiche search. So if you're always searching off of, say, a handful of fields that are not added into a template, or you have a search that you're going to be running every week, you can then save this entire search as an advanced search. And when you choose your saved search, that would then, let me move this quickly. So if we were to clear everything out and choose our saved search, there we go. That's going to then pull up everything that we had selected previously in that search. And we have more search options available to us than just the one text box. I don't see any additional questions coming in at this time, so thank you again, everyone, for attending today's webinar. My name is Michael Mathis. I am the Client Services Director at CDI, and if you do have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.